By far, the hardest part of building out an application is choosing the technologies to use in it. And I'm not talking about what high-level language do I use. I'm talking about if you need services like speech-to-text or text-to-speech, do you use Google's Cloud Text-to-Speech API? Do you use 11 Labs or one of the other 1,000 options out there? If you need data, are you better off pulling in a library, which is going to make your application heavier, or every time you need a bit of data, calling an API, which could have cost associated with it, and it's going to add delay to your application's user experience? Or do you pay that cost in your time in development, building out just the data that you need within the application? The research about all your options and pros and cons for each, decision time, is by far the biggest spend as you're building out an application. It's not writing code, it's making those decisions, mostly the research. For the biggest decisions, I usually can make them with my first guiding principle, and that is simple and multi-purpose until I can explain to myself why I need complex or specialized. Like for writing the application, I use JavaScript because it's good on the front and back end. It's multi-purpose. Right up until the moment that I need to use a machine learning library. And then like that, I'm going to be using Python on the back end. Same with databases. I always start out using a non-relational database. The moment that I find myself bringing together two pieces of data within a code function, I switch over to a relational database like Postgres. Now for new technologies, I can't even use the simple and multi-purpose principle because I don't even know anything about the technology. So my next guiding principle is to pick the most used technology. And this is how I find it. I've found myself wanting to use a no-code application builder just to test it out, see what the hype is about. So I would go on Google and look for the most used technology within this space. Here, no-code app builders. No-code app builders are pretty new, so I'm not seeing any as the leader. I look in Google Images to see if there's any graphs of usage like there are for programming languages. If I turn it into a question and ask what is the top no-code app builder, a question always makes Google give an AI answer like this. And they list out a lot of the apps I've seen, including Bubble for full stack. And this is going to be the end of my search. I'm going to use Bubble as my no-code app builder. The reason I always go with the most popular if I'm in doubt is because I want to make a decision fast. With so many decisions to be made in the app building process, if I do thorough research for every single one, it will double, triple my delivery time. And I'm not okay with that. I want user feedback. I can perfect it later. I want to get something out there quick. So I will make a decision quick. And if I'm going to pick something very quick, the most popular, most used technology is not a bad option. If it was a bad option, it wouldn't be the most popular. Other people have gone into that meticulous research, and if enough of them found problems with it, they would go to something else, and here Bubble would not be the most popular. Think about JavaScript frameworks for the front end. React is the most used. Would you consider React the best JavaScript framework? Probably not. But React is dummy proof. It's easy to start using a little bit of the functionality without understanding the whole ecosystem. And the third and most important reason with React is true of all decisions I make using the most used technology principle. And that is that if a technology is most used, the most people ran into problems with it. The most people discussed those problems. That large community and body of documentation is going to be so valuable that even if I knew the technology is not the best, I would still go with the most popular because it's going to be easier when I run into a problem in finding a solution. So if in doubt, I always go with the most popular, but a lot of times I'll start using that and then realize that the most popular technology is not going to work for me. So I needed for this app that I'm working on some icons, graphics to use within my text. Search what the most popular is. The result was Google's material icons. Just looking through their icon set and searching for what I need, arrows basically, I'm seeing that there is not the icons that I need. So I researched the next two most popular icon technologies. Neither one of them had what I was looking for either. So I'm not going to look at the fourth and fifth most popular libraries. Just knowing that the top three don't have what I need, I'm going to switch it up and create my own font. Because with all the time that I'm going to put into finding a pre-built solution, I could just build my own or get half the way there. So when one of these most popular technologies does not work, I'll look into a couple other options, but very quickly pivot and build my own solution or start. And then if building my own solution becomes very, very involved and a long process, then I'll look for another path of least resistance, maybe researching more options. Now, where I'd break from those guiding principles of simple, multi-purpose, most used, and build it yourself is if you have a very specific criteria. So if you want text to speech and your criteria is you want the best AI voice in the world, well, you'd follow a modified system where look up the top 10 most popular AI voices. You'd have to listen to every one of them and then make your selection based on your criteria, which for text to speech, I think that's definitely 11 labs. That's how I approach the nightmare of choosing technologies. If there's any guiding principles you use to pick technologies, please share them, because this is a painful process and I'd like to learn.